Welcome back to the Tunisian Terror. Alright, looks like we got no active research going on right now, so let's just hop right into it and figure out what we want to research. Maybe improved fertilizer? Does this give a bonus to fertilization? Unlocks fertilizers for... I don't know, we'll try. What I think we should probably do, because this chemical plant is just an absolute joke. And it's producing a very small amount of fertilizer. Whereas our cows could probably produce a little bit more, right? With the intensive grazing. It's going to cost us more grain to give us more fertilizer and more fabric. And are we importing tools as well? I wanted to look at that. Looks like we're already importing the tools. So, we're going to think about doing something like that. I'm going to go speed 4 just for my small brain. Speed 5 goes a little too hard for me. But I'm thinking we could maybe change a few of these things around. We got an event against the odds. 50% radicals from discrimination, that's fine. We're a pretty homogenous society. I think the goal right now is to completely eliminate our debt. We're 300,000 in debt, which is pretty high. It's kind of crazy to me that I can't remember the exact reasoning for bringing this barracks down to 1. Because if we get attacked, we are not going to have a good time. Especially because I thought we were planning to attack Tripolitania. I don't understand. Why would we do that? Because we're going to have to build it all back up now, too. It's going to cost us quite a buttload. So we're utilizing 61 sugar there, we're producing 60, so that's pretty good. In the wheat farm, we're producing 153 wheat. And we're getting 164 consumed. So I think we do a little bit of this. Because we have the wheat farm on fertilization. Or maybe since we're importing tools, we actually give them some tools. We got an inactive trade route. I guess we got some unproductive ones. I guess we'll just remove those. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe that's a terrible idea. There's coal and iron coming in. I'm thinking for this. Yeah. But I mean, this whole place is kind of a joke. Like, I kind of want to just destroy the joint. And then maybe just export the sulfur. But I don't think there's any place we can export the sulfur to. We can export it to the French. And I think that's the plan. We could also export our lead to Morocco. I think we'll do it to the Austrians just because they're a bigger market. And then I think what we're going to do is we're just going to... And I know it sounds ridiculous, but we're just going to destroy that chemical plant. We're going to get these guys working on intensive grazing so we can get some fertilizer from them. They will eat a bunch of the wheat we produce. But that fertilizer plant just was not doing the Lord's work, you know? We'll take this explosives off. We don't need to do that. So we're importing tools, exporting sulfur and lead, and clothes. think we could even probably go butchering tools. We use a little bit more tools. We're importing them anyways. And we gain a little bit more meat. And let's take a look back at our market and see. We're overproducing meat by an insane amount. We're overproducing fish. We're overproducing groceries. So we could do an export of groceries or meat probably. I'm thinking we want to do grocery because there's so much more of it. We don't want to produce alcohol, there's no need to. Number of Maltese are migrating to Quebec. So yeah, let's see if we should probably export a little bit of our groceries to somebody. The Austrians sound fine, and we should export some of our meat, and we'll do that to the French. So we can keep this grocery afloat. It doesn't look like there's any way to really improve the sugar plantations. It's kind of weird, I would say, that fertilizer works on wheat, but it doesn't work on sugar or cotton or whatever. But that's fine, I suppose. How much fertilizer do you need? You're consuming 15. And how much are you producing? You're producing 10. So we probably want to increase our livestock ranch. And I know we said we want to industrialize this nation, and we're basically going backwards currently. But it is what it is, right? Right now, we're just trying to get out of debt. We have no, I mean, I believe we have friendly, French market. Let's get off of this. I believe we have, good relations with most of these countries. Friendly, cooperative. With Spain, they're protective of us, and they're, friendly. The Ottomans don't have interest in the same strategic region? Are we not their protectors? Oh, I guess we're not their protectorate anymore. That's probably why we left their market earlier as well. Let's get some trade union support. Comunistas. We're good relations with Austria as well. Wow, we are quite beloved folk. Let's improve with Great Britain. Doesn't even look like we can improve with them. Man, it would be so nice to take Algeria. I'm just very worried about... Well, first of all, we don't even have a military anymore. But I'm very worried about intervention from France, Spain, Great Britain, Austria, the Ottoman. That's why we're trying to... That's why we're eyeing up Tripolitania right now. See if we can't conquest all of that. For a Mediterranean empire, Southern Mediterranean empire. Alright, what goods are struggling that we could maybe sell off? Fish is being overproduced just slightly, as well as services. It's actually kind of interesting that there's so many buy orders for liquor, in a Muslim market. I mean, that's... People are spending half their money on liquor that they would on their clothes. I don't know, seems a bit ridiculous to me. But let's plan for the future. So I think we want to increase this because it's only producing 10 fertilizer, whereas these guys need 15. It doesn't seem like they're struggling too bad on fertilizer, but we should get the fertilizer up first. Because if they need 15, that means they need 5 per level. They're producing 10 per level. So we get this up to 2, then we can bump this up to 4. The problem is we're creating an economy where we're very dependent on agriculture rather than dependent on manufacturing. With the 164 needed for our textile mill, and a lot of that's coming from our cotton, it's producing 120. And then these guys are producing 40. Could probably up the textile mills as well. Grain and sugar needed there. I'm thinking what I want to do. I actually didn't know this when we were playing the last 3 sessions. I took a little break and did some play on my own here. Is that the tooling workshop actually uses wood. I assumed it had used iron. So we could stop importing tools, which is actually pretty desperate right now because our bureaucratic waste is so high. Maybe we could change one of these things that we're doing here. I actually don't think we want to turn any of these off. We want the sulfur and lead being traded just so that these are not just completely wasteful industries. You can use sulfur. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's actually very important that our next industry, as much as I would like to increase this to 2 and this to 4, as I think our next industry ought to be the tooling industry. How are we doing on taxes? We have our taxes all the way up because we're in debt. We have our wages all the way down because we're in debt. Both are not good. Let's maybe increase both of these. I apologize for my phone going off. But yeah, I think we increase both of those because even if we go down on taxes, we're just going to be barely breaking even. And we need to get this radicalization number down pretty hard. But once we get tools, you know, we can use harvesting tools here. It doesn't say how much more we would produce. We would just use more tools. But you would need less labor. I guess that's what the point of the tools is there, so you could allocate labor somewhere else. Currently we're way full on labor, so we actually don't need to go tools there. We could consume a little bit more clippers to make more fish and decrease the amount of laborers here, but increase the amount of machinists. How are we doing on clippers? I know we're importing them. They're very cheap within the nation because we're importing everything we need. So we could obviously think about adding trawlers to the list. Are we on a deficit in fish? No, we're actually overproducing fish. Okay, so we don't need to do that. We could use even more tools to gain more meat. It's less efficient than the butchering tools, so I think I'm going to stay where I'm at. think we're gonna get our own domestic tool industry going. How are we doing on wood, actually? Before we do that. Wood is probably gonna need an upgrade soon. But the thing is, we could, what's it, a sawmill, right? We could utilize the tools we're gaining to produce more wood without upgrading it. And we can add hardwood production to the crew. But I think we're close enough to not being in debt that maybe we should start spending our money. So let's go tools. We'll get our tooling workshop up. It's going to take us 64 weeks to make it, which is an incredibly long time. How many tools do we need? We need 15 for lead, sulfur, and livestock. So with our increased use of tools, obviously the problem, right, is I don't want to import iron. And with the tooling workshop, right, we could go pig iron tools, or we could even go with steel tools. I don't think we're going to have that much of a demand for tools. What we could do is just go sawmills. It takes away a lot of the production here. Because what's the base production on the tooling workshop? It's going to create 30. So basically half of our tools are going to go to the logging camps to produce the wood for the tooling workshop. But that's okay. Because the thing is, we have a lot of labor. Labor is not really our issue. Once it becomes our issue, then obviously we got to become a lot more efficient with what we're doing. But for now, it doesn't really matter too much. And we're losing basically nothing while we're constructing, which is actually quite good. And I do think that means what we should do is, not technology, where am I going? Taxation wise, we could bring this down once we're done with this, and we can also delete our import route for tools, which I think should balance the economy quite well. Let's take a glance at Algeria and see if they've got any diplomatic changes. They got a defensive pact now with Sardinia Piedmont as well as the Moroccans, so it's definitely a hard no from them. Wait a second, is Tripoli no longer a puppet? It would show you there, right? Let's see, like a country like Serbia allied. Defensive pacts, those obligations are like So Tripolitania is no longer a puppet. Maybe we ought to focus on the military a little bit more. I wish we wouldn't have destroyed all these buildings. Let's see Tripolitania. They have 10 battalions plus 7 reserves. So we know we need probably, let's go with maybe 20 as a reasonable estimate, but I want to do this quickly so that they don't get puppeted or a defensive pact with anybody. But this tooling workshop is taking forever to build. Man, I don't remember doing this, and I feel so dumb for doing it. We need artillery and small arms to be imported to these men once we are capable. But rough stuff. Alright, maybe we'll speed 5 till the tooling workshop is done. We'll try to keep an eye on Tripolitania and see if their diplomatic status changes. We definitely don't want any of the Europe wars to join our conquest there. But I think what we're going to need to do is just mass recruitment. We're going to just we're going to build this up to hopefully 20. And especially because we can construct at basically no net loss. Should be okay. We'll have to import, obviously, weapons. Both artillery and small arms. Look at this red must zone. You guys see this? Miasma going on over here. Alright, so we got a event. All hail the Bay. Plus 20% to assimilation, plus 20% to conversion. Man, the assimilation would be good once we attack, but we're not attacking just yet. We probably got... Do we think we're attacking in the next 20 years? I think 20 years is actually a good goal. And hopefully we can utilize that assimilation to, I don't really understand the mechanic necessarily on that, but maybe these pops convert into Maghreb pops. Why is the North African HQ showing up? Do I get rid of that? It's quite annoying. Alright, so our tools are done. So what we can actually do is remove that. That should put us just under our bureaucracy limit by a slight amount. And it does mean that we are financially booming, basically. What I want to do is let's build up a gold reserve of maybe 200k. Then we'll reduce taxes, we'll build our barracks, we'll import weapons. We'll go for a declaration of war against Tripolitania, who still have no active alliances. We need to get our loyalist up as well, but I'm not too sure on how to do that other than maybe increasing the standard of living. Alright, so our tool manufacturer is struggling. I do think that it's maybe because we didn't add that in. So we're going to sawmills. We need more tools, which means that they have to produce more tools to satisfy the need. And there we go. Looks like they're doing all right. Wonder if maybe we should try to upgrade this and this before the war, but then it just feels like we're delaying for a little too long. So we're at 100,000 in reserves. I think at 100,000 maybe we should reduce the tax level down. Just chill until we get to 200. Got an event here. 3 prestige, 2% of the pops become more radical. Landowners are less approve us less. I think we'll go with the prestige. We're ranked number 110 in the world. I'm very tempted to do this before the war, but I know if I do that, we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot because we have a golden opportunity where Tripolitania is not protected by anybody, and we have very good relations with most of the world. And obviously the only hope is that the Ottomans don't join. Ottomans joining would... Because I think in this game, great powers can just join on a whim. I think maybe what we should do, because our budget is so bad as well, is start taxing stuff that's going to reduce our standard of living, but it is what it is. Like clothes, probably. Not groceries. Maybe services as well. And that'll boost our income quite significantly. And then I think we start building now, right? We're at 180. I think that's fine. Oh. Misclick. So we want that to be at 20. And then we'll start importing arms and yeah, we'll go from there. Let's look at our military. We've got... Do we have a general in charge of these guys? We have no general in charge of the African HQ. Let's look at these two. We got a traditionalist commander. Command limit is plus 10%. He's cruel, kill rate, devastation, aggressive maneuver chance. And he's good in the forest. Forest is not going to be useful for us going into the desert. But I do feel like that guy is pretty good. 5 defense, but negative 5% morale damage on this fella. With mountain expert and artillery commander. I think we'll go with this guy. And we're still gaining money, which is good. So that once we inevitably start importing arms, we should be fine. We have 2 sulfur trade routes. I think we eliminate the British one. And that, yeah, that puts us back over our bureaucracy limit. Clothes, groceries are leaving. Wood, we're also exporting, as well as meat. We are pretty high up on fish, but other than that, I think we're... I mean, like, this is some perfect balance right here. 30 tools, so we can use them in all of our industries. Alright, this might be suicide. We might completely ruin our campaign here. But I do think no possible diplomatic play. Oh, we have to ruin our relations with them probably, it looks like, because we are genial and amicable. So we'll do that. And everybody now knows that for next episode, what we're going to be doing is preparing to declare on Tripolitania. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It has been a great time playing with you guys. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.